I'm excited to get our honor ceremony started here. My name is Matthew Gilbert, and I would like to introduce you to Lexi.
My name is Lexi Schneider, and I have the privilege of being the staff person to the Historic Preservation Commission. Welcome to the 2024 City of Waterloo Historic Preservation Commission Awards Ceremony. It is the 19th annual ceremony. The mission of the Historic Preservation Commission is to recognize, promote, and preserve Waterloo's historic sites and cultural heritage to partnership with its citizens, agencies, and organizations. And I will let our chairperson, Matthew Gilbert, take over and lead us through this wonderful award ceremony.
Awesome.
Thank you all for being here.
Thank you. Thank you again. Thank you again. I just would like to get started by just saying thank you to Main Street Waterloo for your collaboration. How many people had an opportunity to visit one of the 6 sites that were on the Tour de Lou? By a show of hands. Yeah, some good stuff here in Waterloo, right? Really, really great. Oh, I'm so good to see you, Sean. Yeah, I'm so happy that you all are here. This is a really great collaboration. In our 19 years, we haven't yet done a thing, so we're literally planting some seeds and hopefully to bloom some beautiful flowers here tonight. Our program is going to be very short. We really want everyone to have an opportunity to get to know who's in the room, but also get a chance to celebrate some of Waterloo's history. And so today we're going to have a short program, starting with our most endangered buildings list. Then we're going to speak a little bit about our civil rights project that we completed, as well as a little bit about our historic district mapping here, and then a little bit of information about our collaborations, some more on neighborhoods, and then we'll have our awards presentation. So without further ado, I would like to start by asking my commission members to actually stand up, please. Outside of Lexi, all of us are volunteers. We meet monthly on the 3rd Tuesday of every month at 4:30 to 5:30. You're more than welcome to attend any of our meetings at City Hall. It is an open forum where we also engage public conversation and public issues, as well as the matter of business, whether that be approving certification of a particular home or a district, or sometimes we have to actually be the last ones to be a say-so if a building has to stay or go. And so that's the hard part about our work, which is the reason why we want to bring more awareness to the work that we do, but also bring our community together here. So I'd like to invite Jared to the podium to just present our most endangered buildings list. These are going to be buildings that you've seen, buildings that you may not know are historic buildings, but buildings that we really need a little bit more TLC, and we need some ideas or investors. So please, Jared, come on up.
All right, here's our most endangered building list. The commission every year creates endangered building list, and this is the list we created. You'll see, starting with the first one, there's a couple of, this is one that's been in the news recently, but some of these do have been recently purchased, and so hopefully these will come off our list as they get rehabilitated. So, first one's the Courier Building. The Courier Building's been empty since 2011, when the Courier moved over to the east side of the river. The building is in the middle of the block. Adjacent to the parking lot is a former Montgomery Ward store that was designed in a Georgian style that the company used from 1931 to 1941. Next we have the Mount Moriah Baptist Church. This church is probably one of the most interesting buildings architecturally in the city. However, the congregation of the church has been struggling for a few years, and the building was damaged from water before the roof was repaired. The building also has had some masonry work on one of the sides. Sadly, Reverend Holmes passed away, but his son is now running the church and is looking to bring in more revenue to the building in order to fix it up. Next we have 429 Clay Street. This is in our Walnut neighborhood. It's on the corner of Dane and Clay Street. It has been sitting partially boarded up like this for several years, while the Walnut neighborhood and Habitat have done a great job revitalizing the neighborhood. This home on the north side still sits there needing some tender love and care. Next we have 1003 Vine Street. This property is now owned by the City of Waterloo. It is located within the historic Highland District. I think this property would be a great opportunity to rehabilitate a historic structure in a great location around other historic homes. This is 722 Water Street. This used to be the Blackhawk Fruit Company warehouse. It's been empty for several years now. It was bought by a new entity in 2022. He has received a local designation for the structure as a historic landmark, and the new owner plans to redevelop this building into apartments on the top 2 floors and a restaurant actually in the bottom level. Hoping this one comes off the list as well. Next is 217, 221 West 5th Street. You guys were maybe just in this building. This is the Richard Thomas building. It was taken by the city through the 657A program. It's a 3-story mixed-use building constructed in 1912. It's been vacant for quite a few years in a very highly visible corridor along 5th Street. This one's actually right across the street here. This is 626, 628 Park Avenue. It's a duplex, very large duplex. It's now owned by Iowa Heartland Habitat for Humanity. Plans to rehabilitate the home to a duplex again. The structure was built in 1911 and has been through many ambitious developers who just weren't able to finish the project. This is the YMCA building, the River Plaza building, maybe you know it as. It is a monumental building along Waterloo's riverfront and downtown area. This building also actually has a new owner who plans to rehabilitate the entire building into some mixed-use commercial and residential spaces. This building you probably know as the Rath Administration Building. It is one of 28 buildings in Waterloo that is listed on the National Register of Historic Places. The building is currently under a development agreement between the city and the organization to redevelop the building into approximately 87 affordable senior living apartments. And the last one, I'm sure there'll be some more talk on this. You got some info there in the middle of your table. This is the Dunsmore House. It is right off 63. It's the 3rd oldest building in the city of Waterloo. It's the oldest limestone residence left in the city. The city has owned this for quite a few years. Little progress has been made on this building. And the Historic Preservation Commission is looking for ideas into how to uniquely save this building or what it could be used for.
Thank you, Jerry. I really appreciate that. Again, these are homes that we need and buildings that we need to bring awareness to, but also structures that are historic to Waterloo that need some ideas, some investment, and some TLC. So I'm really excited that we were able to present that. We continue to update that list every year, and we're responsible for an annual report that we actually give to the state of Iowa, and the state of Iowa has an ongoing list of most endangered buildings that we basically nominate every year. So if you see something and you're not sure if it's a historic structure, please don't hesitate to let us know, and we can do the background research and try to figure out if it's something that we need to work on trying to save, or if it's something that a private developer can do whatever they like to do with. Now I'd like to move into a really exciting project that is, I think, maybe a shoe in the door to really celebrating Waterloo civil rights history. Back in 2019, the Commission received an African American Civil Rights Grant from the National Park Services in 2018. We solicited a bid out there, and Thomas Zahn and Associates were successful in that bid, and they completed this civil rights project, which included listing at least a property on the National Register or creating an amendment to an existing property, as well as identifying sites in Waterloo that are significant to both civil rights history, as well as getting us moving forward in our site inventory. One of the things that we really have to do, as I'm kind of sharing with you all, eyes and ears, is keep all the sites that are historic sort of on our radar. So we're trying to keep an ongoing database, an ongoing list, not just for the state, but for our own local interests as well. And so by completing this site inventory, we were also able to provide some site markers that you'll get to see here at different locations. And so we identified sites, specifically the B.F. Treadwell Tourist Home, the Full of Love School of Music, KBBG Radio, the original radio station on Cottage, The Knights of Pythias, which is the Ferguson Lodge number 5, the KP, many of you might know that building. Milton F. and Valletta Fields home up there on Beach Street. The W.A. Hoffa building, which is a part of our Waterloo commercial district on the east side. Ferguson Fields Park, which is again up near the Beach Street area. East High School, Best Chapel AME Church, which you'll see here. Again, the Ferguson Beach Street House, and the UWPA Union Hall, CIA Local 46, which is a union hall that was really instrumental in some of our labor movement in the early 40s, I would say, specifically. But this research project concluded in August of 2023. If you're looking to learn more about this project, it is available on our City of Waterloo Historic Preservation site. There's an inventory of all the sites, as well as an example of all of the historic markers that you'll see. But this is just the beginning. What we felt as a commission that the consultants did what they could in that COVID experience, but there's so much more history that we need to uncover. And so we've looked at activating both a task force around civil rights history here in Waterloo, but also getting our community engaged in civil rights history research as well as outreach. And so we felt like this was just a beginning to more work to be done, and Zahn and Associates sort of gave us the thumbs up to continue this work on. So yes, more to be done, and there are more sites that we need to identify, protect, and preserve. We're going to bring Nick up to talk about our Highland Historic District and the mapping.
Hello everyone, my name is Nick Hendrick. I'm a commissioner for the Historic Preservation and a member of the Highland neighborhood, which I love every moment of being there. John Gorniff, a previous staff member for the commission, actually designed this map. He put a lot of time and effort into it. The story map begins where you can walk in the neighborhood and follows the tour. As you walk through the neighborhood, you can read about the history of the entire district. The map gives you information about most of the homes. This information comes from Iowa site inventory forms that were filled out in 1987 and 1994 for each of the properties. During the tour, you can follow the path of the map or click on homes as you go. This map is a great opportunity to learn more about Waterloo's naturally and locally designated historic district. So this is available on the city website under Historic Preservation, and it has a bunch of links that you can go right to. Each of these you can click and find out the specific information on each of the homes, or as you see on the left there, you can scroll through and take a look at all that. Thanks everyone.
Greatly appreciate that, Nick. Now I'd like to invite Susan to the podium. Here she goes. Perfect. And she's going to talk a little bit about our collaborations this year.
Hello. I'm in charge of the collaborations, which means we have different organizations that wants to work with us in order to improve our historical preservation. First of all, we have the Grout Museum, which of course we are in tonight, which is, thank you very much for having us. Of course, they have the garden tour, which incorporates 8 properties between Waterloo, Cedar Falls, and Blackhawk County, and that will be in June of this year. The home tour had 7 homes in August of 23, and the new doors, if anybody has been upstairs, will notice that they are being completed, which is a great entrance now. And we have the 120th Annual Dry Run Sewer Banquet was held back in October. And everybody knows about the dry run, I'm hoping. Then there was 3 Halloween events, which were held in October. I guess that was a big success. 5 Sullivan Brothers Plaza dedication occurred with Kelly Sullivan. She helped to lead the event. Billy Bailey, I believe you're retiring. So we'll have our up here in a little while. And the Grout is still evaluating candidates to become the new executive director, our host this year again. And of course we have Main Street. Waterloo is helping with us, like tonight was the Tour de Loo before we had our meeting. Hopefully they'll be back again next year, be able to do that again. Main Street Waterloo is also holding events. Main Street Flowers, the Cash Mob, Santa in the Park event with llamas and fireworks, National Main Street Accreditation event with a representative from Main Street America, and of course the Historic Honda Tour. There'll also be Keys of the District, and of course every summer we have our Friday Loos. And Silos and Smokestacks held their second annual Iowa Eats Festival, so hopefully that'll will happen again this next year. And they do work with us. Cedar Valley Historical Society. Tim Kuhlman from the Cedar Valley Historical Society has attended many of our meetings lately and sharing our events, and hope to collaborate with them. Cedar Valley Historic Society invited the commission to an event at the Grout on January 23rd of this year. And the Cedar Valley Historical Society would like to have a Waterloo Historic Preservation Commission member attend one of the meetings May to September, so hopefully one of us will be able to do that. So that's all of our collaboration so far. Hopefully there will be some more, and hopefully we'll keep on with the Main Street and the Grout, of course, and Cedar Valley Historical Society, and our Silos and Smokestacks. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Susan. One of the things we've been doing every year is having a youth inspired fellowship and collaboration. And so right now we're just kind of setting seeds with the youth art team to consider what would that look like for us to continue to make historic preservation along with youth art part of our ongoing fellowship. So really appreciate that collaboration list as well. Now I'd like to bring forward Ed to specifically talk about our neighborhoods and talk about some of our historic districts.
I'm going to talk about our historic neighborhoods that we've already mentioned several things already. That includes the Walnut neighborhood and the Highland Historic District. Both of these are nationally designated districts along with the two commercial districts that was mentioned as well. Highland is the only locally designated district, and that district falls under our jurisdiction for reviews of anything that goes on for changes to those structures. Both of these districts have their own character, and it's my opinion that Highland is a good example of what can be done to a district to keep its historic character through the years when it is locally designated as well as nationally designated. Both of these districts have many activities that go on throughout the years, probably too numerous for me to go ahead and list them all, but get involved with them and learn more about those districts when you can. Thank you.
Thank you again, Ed. I really appreciate that. Now we're going to get into our awards portion of this and then wrap up our ceremony here. I'd like to start by celebrating our past awardees, and I'd like Lexi to come forward and help me with that.
Over the past 19 years, we have awarded 80 individuals and organizations and different buildings for their excellence in historic preservation in Waterloo. We do thank you for your contribution to historic preservation in Waterloo. We will go ahead and get started with this year's award winners.
What I'll do is I'll have my commissioners kind of come to my left, and anybody that comes, I'd like you to start, high five, handshake, give a fist bump, whatever works for you on my left. And then I'd like you to stand with your award here on the right side. We're going to take one photo and then let everybody sit down, okay? All right, good. So starting off, what I really love to do is talk about this year's awardees, specifically one that is, I think, a Waterloo legend in so many efforts. JSA Development. In 1920s, the 1920s fire station at 716 Commercial Street was rehabilitated by JSA in preserving the history of the area. This 1920s fire station located at 716 Commercial Street is a great example of their incredible work. formerly neglected and in a deteriorating building, was developed and renovated into a new home for Experience Waterloo, which you'll get to see right now if you go down Commercial Street. It's got the Love Waterloo in the front window. Really great experience, but also 4 residence units sit at the 2nd floor. JSA both preserved the architectural integrity of this site while also repurposing it for 2 modern needs, both housing as well as commercial use for our city destination management organization, Experience Waterloo. Is someone from JSA here? Yes, great. Thank you. Awesome. Yep, and thank you. She's got your award. And if you wouldn't mind introducing yourself,
Yes.
If you have something to say, please.
Thank you.
Stand in the crowd.
So my name is Shaylin Gersh, and I recently was with Jameson's Public House. And JSA didn't own Jameson's, but Jim Walsh owned 4 East Dining, and that's where I come in with Jameson's and 4 East Dining. But for the last month, I've been working with David Deeds at JSA in that office. And so, hi Miranda. And so David is not here today, but he is in Rennes, France. And so he had some words for us. So, sorry I'm not able to attend this evening. Thank you on behalf of JSA Development for this award from the Waterloo Historic Preservation Commission. Also, thank you to Main Street Waterloo and the Waterloo Historical Preservation Commission for collaborating on tonight's Tour de Lou and these awards. Progress happens more quickly when we work together. So David is currently in Rennes, France, with a group of UNI students who will spend the next month learning about some of the latest tools used for data analytics. The juxtaposition of this modern topic with a city that traces its formal beginnings back over 2,000 years provides good context for the work we do at JSA. The picture on the screen shows buildings that are 300 to 600 years old. They are still in use as locations of small businesses and residences. While not all of the structures in Rennes are this old, many are. It reminds me that we can't do our work alone. We can rehabilitate buildings, but we need businesses and people to occupy them. That is where I ask for your help. Encourage people you know to be a part of Waterloo's future by using its existing structures for their business, their residence, or their next meal. If we can bring together these 2 parts, rehabilitation and use, well-built historic buildings can and should last centuries. Thank you also to the JSA team, Kirsty, Alan, Christina, and Matt. They make the day-to-day happen. And then, of course, also thank you to Jim Walsh and his family for his commitment to taking the long view on his investments in Waterloo. Because of him, we have had the opportunity to ensure these buildings last into the next century. Because of our work, we help tell the story of those who came before us and ourselves Because of our work, we help tell the story of those who came before us and ourselves to the future residents and visitors to Waterloo. So that was from David Deeds, the president of JSA Development.
Okay, next on the list is 415 Wallen Collective. The 415 Wallen Collective has been working tirelessly on finding a new purpose for the former Walnut Street Baptist Church, while preserving much of its history. The structure was listed on the National Register of Historic Places in 2010 and was recently listed as a local designated historic property. The 415 Walnut Collective is different from some other organizations in the area because they have truly encompassed a community-led approach. The collective has held many events to find ideas on the best reuse of the space from community members. While the project is still ongoing and no construction has begun, the 415 Collective's passion and dedication to the building has made a significant impact and inspired many individuals to see the potential of the site.
Well, I'm here again, excited to have Stacy and Laura, who are both Walnut neighbors, but also some of the sort of first folks that were really excited about this project before it actually became a project. I would love for them to just shake hands, grab the award, and I'll speak while they do so. The 415 Walnut Collective, as you heard, is an example of both community coming together to preserve Waterloo's history, specifically in a built structure. Because this built structure exists, we're actually able to hear so many more stories about folks that have had weddings in the building, folks that have had their first kiss in the building, folks that were baptized in the building. Built in 1908. If you had an opportunity to see the building, it is an amazing structure. We're still looking for great ideas and looking for opportunities to repurpose this. But I would say I'm thankful to people like Stacy and Laura, who are great examples of neighbors, of community advocates, and folks that really believe in the future of Waterloo. So I just would like to just give them one more round of applause. Thank you. Thank you. All right, and next up for our list of, yeah, we'll get photos later. I'm not gonna make you stand. You look good over there, by the way. All right. Next up, I think this is a shero of all sorts. Billy Bailey, the Grout Museum director for 33 years, has been an influential individual at the Grout Museum and in Waterloo's history. Billy was the director of the Grout Museum during many significant events, this renovation being one, as well as the creation of the Blue Dome Science Imaginarium in 1993. This large expansion that you see right now in the building was started in 1990 and was a part of an $11 million Sullivan Brothers Museum project, opened in 2008. Billy is responsible for launching many programs, dealing with many headaches, but also loving on her community. Being a part of both Voices of Iowa, both an oral history project in 2003, her most recent notable achievement, many of sorts, has been being a part of a team that has helped Waterloo achieve the title of our World War II Heritage City. Billy has proudly shared and collected the history of Waterloo for over 43 years, and I just would like to give her a round of applause as she comes to receive this gracious honor. So much. You got some words? I know you do. Please share something. You got too much history in this building. It says your name on it.
Well, thank you. Those were very kind words. And you know, you can't do anything like these projects without a lot of people there to support you. And I've had good board members. I've had a terrific staff. I feel like sometimes I felt like the launch pad for a lot of aspiring nonprofit executive directors. But it's been a great ride. I'm not done yet. You may see me now and then on Facebook with Cindy Wells trying to resolve a little legislative issue. More on that later. But I really, one of my major goals at the Grout Museum was to make people feel good about being from Iowa. Because so often you go somewhere, oh, I'm just from Iowa. No, you are from Iowa. You are from a place that has sparked magic things, and you should be proud of being from Iowa. It's no different than being from New York or being from Wisconsin or being from Florida. Iowa is a great place. We've had a front row seat to politics for years and years. Some of us get a little sick of it, but you know, that's because of who we are as people. And we should never forget that. And one of my proudest accomplishments is the Sullivan Brothers Iowa Veterans Museum. We have collected over 2,000 video interviews with veterans. We've expanded to include farmers and business people. We started collecting stories in our black community. It's just, everybody has a story, and when you first sit down with someone, they'll say, oh, I don't really have that much, and you start talking to them, and they do. I'm an import. I moved here from Grinnell growing up. I think a lot of people still think I'm not from Waterloo, but as I drove in tonight and looked at every night when I come in and, on Highway 218 and look at that skyline and look at that vision of Waterloo, it's just like, this is home. This is home to me. I thank you all for welcoming me here and making me feel good about being from Waterloo, and I hope the Grout continues to build on that wonderful stories that they've been collecting, and can't wait to see what happens next for it. Thank you all.
Really appreciate those positive words, as well as that positive example of how to celebrate Waterloo's history and how to really fly the W. All right. Our final, but definitely not least, honor is to a gentleman who unfortunately cannot be with us here today. But you can basically see his signature on so many of the built structures and some of the great happenings here in Waterloo. Mr. Jim Walsh. His unwavering dedication, visionary leadership, and tireless efforts have transformed downtown Waterloo into a vibrant and thriving community hub. Mr. Walsh had great passion for preserving the history of downtown Waterloo, and his vision has helped spark others to continue that same work. As the leader of JSA Development, he worked on more than 40 projects that have made Waterloo see an abundance of economic growth in the downtown area. His spirit to preserve the history of downtown Waterloo has united stakeholders and inspired countless others to join in the mission of revitalization. If we could just give Mr. Jim Walsh a round of applause. Thank you. Handshake. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
The word trees.
Okay, yeah. Thank you. That's so nice. I'll be honest, I came here tonight hoping I could just say thank you and run away from this microphone, but you guys all seem real nice, so I'm going to try and say something. My dad would have really appreciated this award, and I know he would have appreciated. I went on the tour to Lou tonight, and the Walnut Collective and the Martin Loves, like I could like feel him there with me. Like I looked at lots of old buildings with my dad. We did a lot of construction inspections growing up as he helped rehab buildings in downtown Waterloo, and I know he would have been so excited about the passion people have for making Waterloo a better place, and it's just real nice to feel that energy in the room tonight. So as he would say, everyone should just get a beer, stop talking. What are we doing? So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
I just want to give a round of applause for all of our honorees. Just again, just no better joy than to respect people that are doing the hard work. To wrap up, we got two things. One is just kind of some upcoming projects and events, and we'll dismiss us. I'll invite Ed.
Okay, I want to highlight two things that are upcoming. On the tables, you will notice this flyer about the Dunsmore House. Home has been vacant for many years, and the structure is rapidly deteriorating. So the Historic Preservation Commission has been tasked with coming up with a plan for the site before the City Council will allow any money to be spent on the structure. So one way we're going to try and do that is we want your information, your input on this. So the Historic Preservation Commission wants to know how you would like to see the building used. So please take a survey. We have a survey. So there's this QR code on these sheets. Scan that code in, and we'll take you to the survey. And please go ahead and do that. So we have an idea what we want to recommend, but we want to hear from the city what they think we should do with this. The other thing coming up in 2024 is our art project. That's in the works. There will be more information come as we plan that through. But please look out for that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all again. I would just like to give thanks again to Main Street Waterloo for our great collaboration and celebration of Waterloo history, as well as some new things to come with our Tour de Lou. I'd also like to thank the Grout Museum, Teresa, EJ, and everyone that has really done great to actually welcome us. And I would also like to thank my DJ, DJ Allison, who's got some sights and sounds for us.